Greetings, episode 8, from behind the giant wafer. No, it's not just closer to the camera, it really is this big, see? It's awesome. It's a giant wafer, like the kind you would get in the cookies, spread with some kind of delicious thing like Nutella. I think this may have been a Nutella delivery device for the girl that lived here before me, because there's about 7 empty Nutella jars. They're really nice, though. It's kind of old-fashioned. When you buy them, then you can take the top off and wash them, and they turn into little juice glasses. So there's about 7 of those up in the cabinet, and me and one of the other roommates were cleaning out the cabinets last week, and we found 5 or 6 more Nutella containers, some of which were empty in various states of fullness. So I believe that this giant thing here is just a Nutella delivery device, although I like it plain, because it's very crispy. I love wafers, and yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this big, though. If you look at the box, it just has a big picture, and I didn't know that was the wafer. I thought that was the logo or some award they won. Anyway, giant wafer, delicious. So I'm sorry I haven't recorded lately. It's been a really rough week. Week 2 of the TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language course, has been really busy. Lots of real live teaching Czech people, and it's kind of all over the place in terms of skill level. And we don't really know who we have until we have them. So sometimes that makes our lessons seem either too advanced or too elementary. But it's like, we don't know who we're teaching. We don't know what they know. So yesterday I taught something on adjectives, and they already knew that. But I didn't know that they would already know that. So it's a little bit unfair, but we'll see how it goes, because I feel like I'm doing a really good job. Okay, so that was this week at school. Tuesday, me and one of my schoolmates left. We had a beer with everybody and some french fries, and then we walked all the way to Prague 10. And according to the map, it's only about 4 kilometers from where we ended up, down by the Church of St. Wenceslas, which is Václavska. But it felt like a lot more. It took me like an hour to get home. I was also slow poking. Prague is a very walky city, very much for walking. You don't see a lot of women wearing heels at all, because all the streets are cobblestone, and a lot of them are marble cobblestone. So it's actually not very wheel friendly. Once again, like I said, I don't know why I brought my scooter. I thought it would be more pavement and so forth. Anyway, it isn't. And it isn't a very friendly city if you are not 100% able-bodied and relatively slender. A lot of the doors are cut in half, and they keep one half locked. And if you have hips that are anything wider than about, I would say, 2 feet across, you're going to have to open the other door, which might be a pain. Not very ADA compliant. Of course, that is the American Disabilities Act. Everything has stairs. If you look on my Instagram, you'll see a little bit of me recording walking up one of the circular flights of stairs, of which there are 3 to get up here. So yeah, everything's really old-fashioned. Most of the restaurants and bars, you either go up a couple of steps, although in the neighborhood I live in, which is Nové Mesto. Do I live in No. Yeah, Nové Mesto. We're in what's called a new town. Everything is down. So most of the bars and clubs, you actually go downstairs to get to them. Very few ramps and so forth. And speaking of having to get around, if you have to get around on crutches here, they don't seem to like the under the arm kind. They have the ones that are braced here. At least that's what I've seen everybody using. Old people, people with casts on their feet. They use the crutches where you hold onto them with your hand, and they brace on the forearm, which seems a lot better, actually, than the ones under the armpit, because they keep you from being in so much pain. All right, a lady had a dog on the tram. I'm looking at my list of stuff. Lady had a dog on the tram, which was really interesting. It was a big, fluffy dog, and it was just on the tram, and no one seemed to mind, and I don't know if she had to pay extra for it or anything, but it was just really interesting. Everybody seems to really like their dogs here. I haven't seen a lot of strays. I did one of my English lessons on the subject of stray dogs in Moscow. And of course, to get the students talking and also to sneakily learn some stuff about Prague, I asked them about the stray dog situation here in Prague, and they said there aren't very many because people either take care of them or they take them to shelters pretty regularly. Someone did say they take them out to the forest to abandon them. So now you've got these wild Czech dogs running around. At least I hope so. Let's see. Apparently, Americans have a strange accent of saying the S in STR. I was teaching some of my students how to say structure and street. You notice I make a little shh, whereas maybe British people say structure and street with a very clean S. I never noticed it when I speak English, but I've noticed it when I try to speak Czech. For some reason, my brain defaults to German. And if there's an ST or an SL, I smooth it right on out to a sh. So it's namiesti, but I say namiesti, which, I don't know, my brain doing weird things to me. So that's about it. I'm having a lazy Saturday. They had a trip organized to go to the zoo, but it would have required getting up even a little bit earlier than what I usually do. So I said, hey, screw that. I'm going to sleep in. Had a nice lazy breakfast, and I am probably going to walk to the castle because that's where I really want to go. To hell with the zoo. I want to go to the castle. I wanted to see that since I knew I was coming here. And it's a beautiful day out. It doesn't look too hot. So that's where I actually want to go. I'll probably take pictures with my phone, which I won't be able to upload until Monday when I go back to school where there's Wi-Fi that my phone talks to. For some reason, it doesn't talk to the Wi-Fi in the apartment, which is how I'm talking to you all. Strangeness. I really hope I get to stay here because it is really big and really nice. And there's so much stuff to see. And right now, it's a lot more fun than California because, like I said, reading Facebook is really depressing sometimes. But I think that's all I have for this episode. Remember, this is episode 8, and it's late. So it's late episode 8. But as soon as I sign off and upload this, I am going to put on sparkly makeup and go completely exhaust my legs and feet walking to the castle because I think it's uphill. So not only do I have to walk out to the river, the Vltava, I have to walk out to the river, follow the river, walk across the famous St. Charles Bridge, and then go uphill to the castle. But, I mean, where else do you put a castle except on a hill, right? Okay. Well, signing off. Dobry den.